Why'd my dad get a new phone number? What area code is it? Because I'm 519. They're 931. My dad never usually gets a new phone number. He was always one to have the same phone number for years and years and years. I wonder if somebody bugged him or something. That happens every once in a while with these videos. Yeah, there's kids and all. That's anywhere in America. You could go to the gas station in the and somebody's gonna mess with you down there. Even here, it's like you gotta have a whole family system. That's why Uncle Roy had the gas pumps right on the property. Uncle Roy wouldn't even go to the gas station. He pumped his own gas at home. He would have his gas filled up at the house. He had his own gas station. Then people get tricked by this whole standing in front of the gas station lifestyle. It's big down there, loitering at the gas station. It's not really that big here because, well, I just go into the to get whatever I need. I hate going to the gas station. I'd much rather go to the independent grocer or something. We fell victim to it. I remember when I was young, I said, "What the hell am I going to do?" Well, I know I had a lot of money. I said, "I'm just going to go," because some people have everything ahead of them. Okay, they got the money. That ain't the thing. They think it's cool to go hang out, da da da, and drink and all that. But then that's when all the problems. You either get arrested, folks can get stabbed, so they can get stabbed. You can get in trouble. You're wasting time. These police are gonna get a case on you, and you could get shot or fucking worse by them because they think you're one of these bad ones or whatever. Because hey, I mean, it's hard to explain. I mean, you could be out one day and then the next, it depends. And they know that. But you could just be a kid that screwed up, was going outside. You got to watch your loitering and all that. The loitering. That's how I almost got caught slipping, was the loitering. And thanks for ruining my language again. I meant to say that's how I almost got in trouble, was I had started to loiter a little bit. And it starts out with that American culture, that American gang culture that they make so much money off of and they defend. Same with the Toronto and Canadian gang culture. They look at this. Look at this. Even our mayor of the city, Rob Ford, was into the culture. Look at this one. Everybody knows this famous photo. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. You couldn't find a photo like this of me. What's this? The cracked one? Look at this. Even our mayor fell for it. So watch who you're looking up to. Because if Rob Ford fell for it, and look at who Rob Ford was. That was me too, eh? I had fell for it too, but luckily I fell for it early on. Rob got eaten alive. They ate Rob like a fucking. They ate Rob. Rob was like one of those pigs with the apple in his mouth to these people. Because what was Rob supposed to do? Was he supposed to well, yeah, he was supposed to get these people he would have had to have those people um deported. But did you know those people that destroyed Rob Ford? Those people Like, they're in the police. Luckily, they just got rid of that head, that chief. He was the leader of it. His name was Chief Sanders. He was the leader of this group. And he was one of the reasons why they got away with what they did to the mayor. Because usually Rob Ford would figure out, oh my God, this happened to me. We have to deport these Galloway guys and all that. Because I got to the bottom of it. I know who they are, what their real names are, everything. CJ, right? He frequents banks and he frequents homeless shelters all around Toronto. He has Brett dreadlocks. He looks just kind of like Saunders a little bit. His uncle, who is just like Saunders a little bit, you know? And these are the gangs that are stealing money from people's ODSPs. They came from Africa. They raped our women. They raped our children's minds. And they tell this guy what to do. You stand this way, motherfucker, is what he tells that little white man. And this guy just sits in the chair and does what he's told. But Stacks and Millie doesn't. And I got nothing against him, but against Saunders, I like Saunders. Wasn't bad. But there was this gang. They even tried to exploit me. They were strong. I could have lost my life. They have firearms. They have police working for them. There's gangs of these police. Okay, this is what the general population doesn't know, the general public. Okay, he's Toronto police. But they don't identify as just Toronto police. They're also part of subsidiary gangs, I've came to learn. This one, he's a Toronto police certain division, Sinaloa cartel Spanish person. Whereas this one, he's Asian Triad Police Toronto. Okay? This one's black Jamaican, whatever. This one's black and gray white guy type of fucking Italian one or whatever. Canadian. There's all different ones. This one's fucking like white Canadian and then all that. You know what I mean? But there's all different ones. You don't know which one you're going to get. You might get the black one that hates the whites and shit like that. Mm-hmm. They don't even have them under control. It's not like an under control thing. It's like go to school, get your thing, and you can wear the hat and shoot the gun, and it's a license to kill, basically. It's not, nobody's accounted for. There's just millions of them. And they're just flying around like pigeons. You don't know which one's which. She's smiling because she knows you won't remember what her exact. And they won't listen to what you're saying about the description of anyone that has one of these little fake badges that you can just go on eBay. They're called fucking patches. You know who wears patches? The Hells Angels and all these gang members. They're just gang members. I don't wear patches. I'm against patches. If you could ever post a video of Stacks and Millie wearing a goddamn patch, you let me know, bud. Hey, maybe I wear a patch, maybe, but I don't wear patches. Guess who wears the patches? The police. Just like the criminals. So don't involve me in your big criminal escapade. When Stacks and Millie made it, I make music. I got I'm good for life. I get my disability. Now, you people in the streets, that's a whole different story. You people are in the streets. And we're not. Yeah, the patches. They wear patches. What else? You got any other points about them? Yeah, they're all affiliated to all these different gangs. That's what I can testify. I had this one black officer that was making up fake charges because he happened to be related to an inmate that I had when I had went through the jail, who was a person that did long-term time, where I was just a person that had a self-defense, quick self-defense in and out case, completely justified. And he tried all the way to the police in the street. Next thing you know, I'm getting attacked by ones that look like this prisoner kid, JJ. Like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? But anyways, you have, yeah, when you first finish school. School is, there's some people that can keep that school mentality, and then there's some that don't. They go off and, because it's not all fun and games after you leave school. Because I've never seen them. I can't mention, I'm sorry. Hey, I would have said it if I could recollect it, but unfortunately, with my real head, well, no, okay, they got that top 5. I was going to seriously vouch and say I have never seen the police service in Canada do anything good because I've been here for 28 years. But they caught top 5 in the whole 28 years that I've been here. Top 5. He was this big time rapper that was a murderer out in Toronto. He shot and killed people. They have it all on video. That would be the one that I could recollect. They have quite a few divisions, not as much as New York City. I just called as many. Well, if you don't know, I have a video on my channel where I got to talk to some real live sergeants over in New York City, down at the would have been the 12th precinct. They call it precincts down there, and up in Toronto they call it divisions. But there's quite a few divisions, and I got to go to the would have been the maybe the 12th. Maybe the 12th division. They got all different divisions. So I'm just learning about that. Because that goes along with the gang culture of it. What division are you from? Oh, he's from a certain division. One division's in the Jane and Finch area where the Jamaicans reside. One division's over in this other area where it's my people. It's like, I had no idea it was like that. It was a my people, your people thing. I had thought it was Toronto police, or I thought it was Canada or whatever, but it's not. And they have a hard time deporting them. They give them ODSP, and then they try to make me feel guilty for being a natural born citizen and doing all the work, and then they just take the ODSP and hold the little medallion for what all the service that I do and my people do. That's a funny thing, but that won't happen anymore because it's all changing. It's just a big scam. They had everybody do all the work in Canada, like me and Justin Trudeau and the Queen Elizabeth and all of our citizens, like the pharmacy worker. And then they hop online after they steal our ODSP, and they go on to say like a police foundations online course. And that's all it is, and that gives you justification to treat other Canadian people like you're the SS. This needs a reevaluation. Just because somebody can hop on algonquincollege.com and do a course from September 22nd to August 2023 does not mean that they can take the life of other Canadians with their firearms and stuff, or throw them in jail and treat them like the Holocaust just because they went to Algonquin. Anybody can go to Algonquin. I can even go. Right now, it's online. All I have to do is sign up. So, what's going on there? A lot of people went to school. Some people went to school for business. So what's happening is you got police that went to school for 2 years to be police, and they're going and robbing people that went to school for business. Because in the United States of America, somebody that went to school for business is allowed to have a firearm. Even if they went to school or didn't for business, if they succeeded in business or whatever, even if they're on disability, just like anybody else, they can own a firearm to protect themselves because these gangs of police are, and you'll see it yourself, if you don't agree with it, I guarantee you're going to face the repercussions. I've seen it happen here in Canada. Good luck going to business. And that's why businesses are going out of business. You got real criminal mobs, mafias, that are using the police. And they're killing kids that just went to Ontario, that went to college, but didn't figure out the next step, which is personal safety, firearms, and defense. And I swear to God, it's like that. And I got my firearm. And hey, my one firearm could even be considered a prohibited weapon. And guess what? He's free. I'm doing more than good in business. Guess what? Because the police are not going to come up to me and try to arrest me if I act like an American person that has that right to carry or whatever. The Second Amendment right. If you start to enact the Second Amendment right here in Canada, the police will not be able to arrest you. Okay, what is the Second Amendment right? It's when you own a firearm and to carry it, but it also means if that police officer tries to arrest you under unjust cause, you will shoot to kill him. And that's how the Americans live, and they're doing fine. And that's how I live here in Canada, and I'm doing fine. And I have my paperwork for my one firearm, but like I said, one of my firearms, I guess you could consider it prohibited. And when you shoot the police or whatever, hey, but guess what? I'm in freedom. It's the other people that have to worry, the ones that don't have any bullets or ammunition, the ones that don't have any firearms. Because we, the people, don't lose we, the people. I got to go down to the United States and learn the whole ideology. It's that we are the people. We're the ones that are paying the taxes so that the police can work for us. We lost that in Canada because you, the people, are also supposed to be highly armed and highly strengthened. See, what's happened is sort of we're in a gray area where they've holocausted a lot of people. There's a lot of people that don't have legs in Canada. They don't have anything to eat. They smoke cigarettes and because of this, because of that. Or worse. Phil Thompson was the one that taught me a lot when he shot one of these officers right in the neck. Back in, would have been July or August 2016. Yes, this man here, Phil, he's got a wife. He is killed. He is what they would call, what I would say justifiably, he's killed a person here in Canada, a police officer, OPP. Look at him. He's just one of these normal guys. What I would consider, that's always what I considered them, normal people. They don't wear patches. He's got this motorcycle. He doesn't wear patches. The police wear patches. And they started this whole war against people and all that back when there was that rock machine Hell's Angels thing or something back in Quebec is what they said. And they've tried to run off that thing for years. But that's not Canada, and it never was. That was the police causing problems with people. I'd almost guarantee. And they're big into this sex trade. Something I'm unaware of. I had just started my research and on the sex, because I just became an adult. And under law, how I seen it was, adults had sex, not kids. So when I was under the age of 18, I didn't even try to. It wasn't one of my priorities because it was 18 or over, 16 or over, and blah, blah, blah. And there's a whole process to it and all that. Little did I know that there were some people like the police and other ones that were involved in these big time, in these illegal sex trades and human trafficking. Funny that they mention it because I don't think they get it. It's all in their own office. They're all in their own heads over there in whatever little dispatch they're in. And the rest of the community's like looking what they're posting and they're talking all this human, but everybody's laughing because we know that's them and it's not us. The general public has no involvement. It's you guys that are doing the sex trafficking, the human trafficking into the jails. You kill them in the jails. I witnessed a correctional officer touching an 18-year-old boy's bum in the jail, was touching him with his penis, coercing him. A correctional officer. Sarah Lang, another correctional officer, also came into my cell and started coercing me and starting to have sex with me, providing sexual services. Never, nor have I ever seen this with my citizens, with our citizens. Wait till that police gets the handcuffs on you, starts touching you and fondling you. They're the ones that classified warned you about. They love it. They're obsessed with it. It's their lifestyle. My lifestyle is to expose them. Because I work on real law enforcement. We actually capture real fugitives that actually did real bad crimes, that actually we can pinpoint, send them to jail. When they go to court, it's actually found guilty. No charges are dropped, only charges are strengthened. We're talking real bad people. Not all the police are bad, but there's a good majority. How do we get rid of them? I'm talking about that classified song with the native girls that go missing and all that. They go missing in Canada all the time because of these other people. It's not Phil Thompson. Phil Thompson stays at his house. As much as I have made Phil Thompson out to be the bad guy, he stays at home like a bear. And I knew that about him. But the one day he traveled 10 or 50, or not 10 miles. He traveled 1 mile down the street, blah, blah, blah. But usually Phil don't travel more than 30 miles, all right? Because nobody generally does. He's the bear at home. The police, they'll kick your door in. Where's the honey? Where's the graham crackers? We're going to shoot you dead for sweet potatoes. All that. And if you don't have a firearm, you won't be a man like this. Okay? You just won't be a man like that. Because it is bad. There's police that are so poor. They're making $65,000 a year, yet they still want to steal the jeans off this guy's legs and give it to their little cousin because they can do it, type of people. Like, we all grew up learning about Nazi Germany, and most of us were on the side of the Nuremberg, and we were on the side of the D-Dayers and all that, right? The D-Dayers, because we went over there and handled it. And how I seen it was, yeah, that's Hitler and whatever. We get to learn his story, but we were American and Canadian and all that. We were against Hitler for what he was doing to people. But then I started to learn, oh my gosh, this was a fake perspective that some of the police and SS here in our country were trying to put us in. They were trying, and then as we were the Canadians, they were the Nazis, the Germans, the bad ones, the ones that we got rid of. The police, that now they try to act like they're the SS. They joke about it. We caught them on recording line. It's a big joke in the whole OPP that they're SS. And what are you going to do about it? That's why I contacted the United States military to come and do something about it. I said, there's this unified police force, similar to the SS, that, well, they're not as strong as the SS. Never have I ever seen them. They're too drunk on beer and all that. They go to the beer store and all that too much, and cigarettes. Never have I ever seen them uniformed like this, but they think they're uniformed like that, and they're not. I've witnessed them shit their pants and all that. When they try to fuck with me, they started shitting their pants. The girl from Saugeen Shores, I'm not exactly what she looks like, but I'd witness, and I mean, I'd testify in real life, she shit her pants. Literally shit her pants. And I just laughed and closed the door. She shit her pants. It was unbelievable. So they're not that strong, but boy, did they take advantage of kids like this. Kids like this that think they don't need a firearm because we got the police and all that. They're going to probably hurt that kid. They won't hurt me because I have my firearm. And if we can change it more of at a global scale, or at a country or a national scale, so that we the people, and I had nothing against the people of Nazi Germany either, because I'm a relation. But how it went was Hitler killed himself. Hitler never made it. Same with his wife. It was a very unhonorable death. I would have much rather him seen him get blown up by a mortar or something like that while he was trying to get to another place. By way of self-execution, it made the Fuhrer look extremely weak. He's no longer the Fuhrer. And that's the story of it. He was the Fuhrer. And when I was learning the story of when he was the Fuhrer, but he wasn't, because he knew that we destroyed the Fuhrer. Because the Fuhrer wasn't really the Fuhrer because of his improper choices. He was really, really stupid. Even his own soldiers thought that about him. He was supposed to move on and start advancing somewhere else, or retreating to. A lot of them retreated to South America and all that. They try to do the same thing to me. Because you're the leader and all that, they tricked him like, hey, if we see Adolf down in South America, we're going to individually pinpoint him out. But if Adolf would have went to that American lifestyle with his Walther, he got a Walther. They gave him a Walther. He could have went to got him and the United States people love Adolf Hitler. They just didn't like the unified military, where they were killing all the Jews and blah, blah, blah. But he could have survived. He could have. He could have took his Walther down to South America, and he could have had to kill a couple of Spaniards or something, and he would have survived. But he didn't. He didn't even try. He just executed himself, and that was unfortunate. But I happen to be one of the closest relations to that Hitler. I seen somebody like a Hitler down in Windsor. I'm not sure if it was the actual Hitler. It may be. There's also a rumor that he didn't really kill himself. That it was a setup, not a setup, but a fake thing, and he actually did flee. And that he's alive today, much like a Tupac Shakur and anything like that. But then there's also a theory that God himself has a historical record of all the greatest men and women that were in his world on earth. And that for a certain amount of years, whether it be thousands of years, hundreds of years, as long as the name is living and breathing, you're able to connect in the universe to Adolf Hitler's spirit. That's what I've identified. There's a spiritual realm. I didn't know it was real when I was a kid. I heard things about it. The universe. It's this spiritual realm, things that you put into the universe and all that. It's not just being an alive animal person. There's also this, just like the video games and all that, there's this realm. See, I'm so late. Some people knew about this realm from the get-go, and I didn't. I used to watch these YouTube videos, how to do that thing where you escape your body and have those dreams and all that. Little did I know, I should have been off the computer with that universe. But yeah, there's a universe. There is a universe. And there is the spirit realm, which I had no idea. And the spirit realm, unfortunately, I don't think it's not as cool as you may think it is. It's kind of like this zipper and kind of like that sky. Once you're in the spirit realm, it's nothing but darkness. And then every once in a while, you may have some light of some thinking or some talking or something to communicate with these other when God enlightens it. Other than that, it's a very scary, dark realm. It's not a realm that you want to go to, but unfortunately, everybody will end up in the spirit realm. So we're only alive for a certain time, and then we do end up in that spirit realm. And then I think eventually we just sort of just perish away, and then eventually there isn't even a spirit realm. It's like complete nothingness. Complete non-existence. Some people say you get reborn. That's what I think maybe too, but at the same time, I don't think maybe you do. I don't remember being anything before I was myself. I knew from the get go it was a one and only time to be as a person. It wasn't necessarily to serve God for me, it was just to be alive. I didn't have the capability of serving God. The only capability that I had to serve to God at all was my knowledge and my little hand skills. My family, I wasn't nobody gave me any money to work with. Hardly. I had no money to work with God, work under God, work for God. If I had money, I could be working for God. He's done his little labor and all that. When it comes to physical labor, oh, that's all I do. I'm the king of physical labor. But physical labor is sort of, it's not the biggest thing to work for God. A little physical labor, I do that all the time. I've done this. Oh, Auntie Michelle, she probably wouldn't admit it. That's how my family is. Anybody that's I've ever did something for, it's really hard to actually get the story of it. But I carried some really heavy wood into this truck before for people. I've never done this, but there's men that do that for God, I guess. It's really for humanity, for the rest of us, for everybody. I've done stuff for a lot of people. This video is something for everybody. It's like I'm sawing away at the wood here. Some people wonder, oh, why is he talking so much? Well, he had some stuff to teach in this one. You don't have to listen to it if you don't want to. You can get back to work if you want to. You don't even have to work if you want to. But I grew up 25 or 26 years thinking you had to work. You didn't have to. But no, there were people on disability, Tommy, in Canada that had been on disability since they were 15, Tommy. They didn't even try, Tommy. There wasn't even any effort. They just were criminals from the get-go and smoked so much meth. And can you believe that? Yep, they have. I'm almost like one of these guys, eh? Oh, I even got to witness this here in Canada when they're working. These are people that are working on property. These are very wealthy people, unless they're being slaved. That's what people forget. They saved up their money, they bought this property, and now they're cleaning it. That's my perspective. Because some people would try to try to kill me and say, you think you're better than these women because they have to do this and have to. No, you don't know what the truth is. These women don't have to do nothing. A lot of the time, this is their property and they own it. And they're doing their own job that has nothing to do with my business. The world's changed. I don't have to feel sympathy for your hard work or anything like that. It has nothing to do with me. And that's the same thing I tell some people is my videos and all that and the rest of the stuff and anything that I do and on my property and all that I have legally or that I rent legally or whatever, it's got nothing to do with you. Just like this guy carrying a box at Home Depot, he's just a guy. If it's gotten to that point, I guarantee we're going to have different votes coming in now. Because the police are saying now, it's like, hey, buddy, I don't care what you look like. I'm the police. What's in the box? We don't trust you. That is how it could. That is how it could get if we don't change, or if we don't start changing it. So what I'm saying is, right now, or how it's supposed to be, is well, how it is in the United States. Even this guy here would be carrying a firearm, concealed carrying. Because, yeah, they'll come up to you, whether it be a criminal, which you think has tattoos, but a lot of the time it's the police. It's another man just like you who has the 9mm service issue, and he is going to get all over you over at Home Depot. So, as responsible adults, this isn't a real situation where we're going to have to enact self-defense. This hypothetical situation, it's happened to other people, but it hasn't happened to me, and it may not have happened to this man. But how do we get into the position where we can stop that from ever happening? Because this guy doesn't want to have to carry a gun, first of all. He may or may not. That's his right to conceal carry. But second of all, he doesn't want to have to shoot the police for something, for violating his rights, because that's the police. So how do we do it? Do we fire the majority, bring it back to how it used to be? Because how it used to be, there used to be a 1 or 2 sheriff and a couple deputies. And they would sit at the, like a Red Dead Redemption. And they would sit all day and all day long over at the goddamn sheriff's office. They wouldn't really mess with anybody unless there was a real crime. They would sit there with their legs on the desk and all that. And then it developed and kept developing, and there we are today, where we have all these Breonna Taylors and all that, and it has to happen here in Canada too. We have to limit the police, limit them, bring them back to the old days. You should limit their firearms too. They can't have these semi-automatic 223 military rifles that they threaten everybody with. They should have old rolling blocks and all the old antiques. It's funny because no, they should have the antiques, and the citizens and the prime minister and stuff should have the new guns, not the poor police that smoke meth. Because these are the same police that we could drug test them by blood. They should do drug testing by blood and urine. If they don't pass it, they're out. Because I guarantee they won't pass it. I've witnessed them smoking meth. In London, Canada, they smoked meth with this kid named he's an orange-haired guy from Men's Mission. You ever wonder why your local police are hanging out over by that homeless shelter? Because they're going inside and they're having sex and they're doing methamphetamines and all that inside the homeless shelters. Yeah, we thought they were reputable police. No. They keep going against people like me, and then they go and smoke meth, and they're all in it with the criminals. So basically, it's the criminals and the police. They're all together. You have criminals and police. That's one entity. I swear to God, it is. It's one entity. Mm-hmm. Then you got these weirdos in the. Yeah, it's one entity. Yeah, it's one entity because I'm really with the police, and you know what I mean. But no, the citizens that pay for the police, we're tired of paying for the police. You guys are going broke. We're dropping all fucking everything. They need to be reduced. They should have less powerful weapons. They should have less powerful equipment. And all that. And they should have less police. They should arrest more of the police. send them to jail, and then have less of the action for the ones that are violating the law, for the criminals that are violating the law. It's weird. The only police I got that I got along with were the female police. How come as a boy here in Canada I'm not getting along with any of the male police? What's wrong with our male police? Well, Tommy, the male police, they have sexual dysfunctions, Tom, where they will attack our male citizens, even our male officials. I never came from this. Majority of our Canadians never came from this. I mean, when we want you guys to go away.